Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Prairie View Cricket Complex, Prairie View, Texas. The temperature is a little bit more mild. The weather is not quite as murky as it was this morning, and so the toss I don't think was as much of a factor as it was in this morning's game. This is a matchup between the TCC Kings and the Texas Skywalkers. Texas Skywalkers lost the toss. The TCC Kings won it. And the TCC Kings captain Arjun Mahesh wanting to put the misery of this morning's game in the back of his mind, choosing to bat first. Batting first, under the circumstances where you were this morning, batting first would have been a little bit tricky, a little bit dicey. And it's a brave move, I thought, to bat first under really wet, moist conditions. And it backfired spectacularly on the TCC Kings in that it was essentially a bloodbath. 76 all out, and that total was easily chased by the team batting second. And now the TCC Kings facing against the Texas Skywalkers, choosing to bat first again. I think this is going to be a little bit more of a sustainable type of an approach, because that allows them to have the opportunity to bat under more ideal conditions. It's going to be very overcast and cloudy, but it is not anymore wet like it was this morning. And so if you prefer batting first, then I think you've gotten what you liked. Now, under the conditions, the TCC Kings again choosing to bat first, and we'll see exactly where that takes us. We're going to go silent for just a few seconds. We'll be right back. Welcome back. So the participants are all in place. Your opening batters are Arjun Mahesh, captain, and Aryan Tamala, the senior all-rounder. And with the new ball in hand from the Forest end is Joy Jadav, left-arm fast bowler. As I've said a number of times, I have a soft spot in my heart for all left-arm fast bowlers. And this would be a very interesting matchup. Cloudy, damp, maybe not damp, but humid conditions, certainly. And so under those conditions, a bowler who swings it is always somebody to be aware of and somebody to have to be watchful regarding. So George Adav has a new ball in hand. Umpire Sagar Bavsar is in position. Umpire Cameron Best at the non-strikers end at square leg. And we are ready to go. Left arm over. The first delivery from George Adav. It's a no ball. He starts out with a no ball. The very first delivery, George Adav will not be happy with that because, of course, with a no ball, needless to say, you get one run. But more importantly, the very next delivery is a free hit. And there's nothing that an opening batter wants more than to be able to swing for the fences knowing that he cannot be out from this delivery. In addition, since it is the only batter, or since the batter is on strike, who was on strike when the no ball was bowled, the field cannot be changed. And so George Adav has absolutely no margin for error. A free hit coming up. In the air, and it's going to clear mid-on, and it's going to run close to the boundary, pulls it back. They'll get a couple. Ultimately, that didn't cost them very much, but the mentality of the opening bowler, George Adav, will have to be that I cannot overstep that front crease anymore And as a left-arm fast bowler bowling over the wicket, he's going to have to get that ball on off stump or outside the line of off stump. So we'll see how well he's able to do from that standpoint, because a lot to clean up here. Better delivery, played into the offside, gets through backward point. There's a fielder down at deep third. Wanted a second run, Arjun Mahesh, but turned back, and that's probably a good decision. That throw coming right back over the stumps. So, a little bit of a ragged start, a misfield that gives up a single there, and then George Yadav himself overstepping. But that's still just 3 deliveries, 2 legal. And we'll see exactly how well the rest of this over develops, because George Yadav's number one objective is going to be to get the delivery on that off-stump line just short of length. Little straight, and this is punched to square leg or to mid-wicket, no run. We'll go over the standings for these teams in just a minute. In fact, all of this, we should probably sort of level set and let you know where the entirety of this tournament stands. As of right now, the Texas Legends are number 2, and the Texas Skywalkers are the best team in the division. So they would be buoyed by that fact. 4 wins and 1 loss at the top of the table. And the TCC Kings, unfortunately for them, are at the bottom of the table. This is played in the air for a while. Doesn't carry all the way to mid-off or to mid-off. The fielders and the covers. So a couple of dot balls here after a bit of a rugged start. George Yadav has finally, I think, found the right line and length. And the idea now is just to make sure that you keep on finding that ball on the right areas, on an off-stump line from over the wicket, and maybe short of length, just going toward that one fielder who's standing at slip. That fielder will be very important for the left-arm fast bowler. Here he is again. Short ball, skied. Will anybody get there? No. Stays in the air an uncomfortable amount of time, but they eventually get, oh my goodness, it's going to be another no ball. He overstepped again. Umpire Sagar Bavsar with the indication. And I believe that that's what we just saw. He has not yet signaled free hit, so I want to make sure that I see the signal from him before we are sure. In fact, no signal. So maybe he was just indicating to his partner that 1 ball was left. So thought it was a no ball, not a no ball, a single, which means 1 ball is remaining now here in over number 1. Played down to mid-on. Big loud no by Captain Arjun Mahesh. That is the end of over number 1, an eventful over, but only 5 runs coming from it. At the end of 1, 5 without loss. One over bowled, 5 without losses. A score. The bowler from the highway end is going to be Daniel Bagani. Daniel Bagani, right arm fast bowler, and he'll be bowling to Aryan Tumala. 5 without loss, and again, this is a matchup of the top team versus the lowest ranked team. That's a good delivery. Attempted cut by Aryan Tumala, missing. That will keep the fielder down at deep third interested, because any thick edge will fly exactly in his direction. And I believe that that's why they have that field set. Understand, inside the power play, you can only have 2 fielders outside the circle. That one fielder down at deep third is 1. The other fielder outside is at deep fine leg. So Anything short of a length is what you're expecting. Skied over the top of cover, and that's going to run away for 4. Gave him width. That's probably not the line to bowl if your only 2 fielders are in the deep behind points or behind square. And that one up and over the top. And cashing in this time is Aryan Tamala. He's now up to 5 from 5 balls faced with that 1 boundary. And so for Daniel Bagani, he's going to want to bring that ball a lot straighter. With the field that you have, your line really needs to be off stump, maybe 4th stump, but you cannot have it that wide. And then with both fielders behind square, and interesting, I just mentioned that they're now bringing deep fine leg inside the circle, and there's a sweeper out on the boundary where that ball just went. So now he's absolutely committed to bowling an off-stump line, keeping that ball outside the line of off, and making sure that even if he goes too wide, as he did the previous delivery, that there will be coverage. Short into the body, and it's defended to backward point for no run. So you're halfway through over number 2, and you see some of the different moving parts, some of the things that you need to pay attention to when you are setting a field inside a power play. Once again, only 2 fielders allowed outside. So 1 down at deep third, and the other is now sweeping at the cover point boundary. So everything has to be on an off-stump line or outside of off. Anything down the leg side is free runs. Next delivery, full, and driven into the covers. Didn't quite time it properly, but it goes to the fielder at cover. That is, can't exactly identify who that fielder is, but more importantly, it's a dot ball. So that's what you want as a bowler. A couple of dot balls after the boundary. And 2 balls remaining now here in over number 2. Once again, this is a 2024 Houston Youth Premier League tournament. This is a seniors matchup between the TCC Kings and the Texas Skywalkers. Next delivery in the slot, really, and top edge down to that fielder in the deep we talked about, sweeping. A single. And so opening pair starting out better than they did this morning. Conditions, of course, much worse or much better right now than they were this morning. And to be frank, TCC Kings suffered with those conditions, all out for 36, all out for 76. But they've started out a little better here. 10 without loss with 1 ball to go in over number 2. And they certainly would be looking to make amends for the way that they started today's play. Daniel Bagani now bowling the last ball of the over to Arjun Mahesh. Arjun Mahesh 3 from 4. Width, and that ball sails past the outside edge. That ball had some carry to it. Good pace by Daniel Bagani. Dot ball to close things out in over number 2. 10 without loss. Two overs into this match. George Adaf coming on for his second over. Top edge over the top of slip. That's going to run close to the boundary. Diving attempt by deep third, and he prevents it from going over the rope. So that, I think, saved 2 runs. That's a great piece of work by that fielder. Went very fine over the top of slip, and he had probably 20 yards to run to his left. Did enough to dive and prevent that ball from going over the ropes. So that is a good piece of work. Mentally, it helps you benefit from the standpoint that your teammates know that you just saved 4 runs, and then it certainly undercuts the efforts of the batters to score runs. So good result from all sides. And again, for George Adav, that's going to be encouraging because he found the edge of the bat. Anytime you're finding the edge of the bat, particularly as a fast bowler, left-arm fast bowler, if you find the outside edge of the bat, you're doing exactly what you need to do. Here's the next delivery. That's played to mid-wicket. They look for a quick single, always there. And so George Yadav had a bit of a rough start. Started the innings with a no ball, but recovered well enough. Even with that free hit on the second delivery, only conceded 5 runs from his first over. And has started out well here. Found the edge on the first ball, and then the next delivery was a dot ball. So he's going to look to continue in exactly that same way. And a left-arm fast bowler will always have the advantage of creating that angle slanting across the right-hander. So he's going to look to exploit that. Here is again in the air. Where is that gone? It's going to clear the covers. Daniel Bagani running back from cover point, and that's a good piece of fielding because he keeps it to 1 run. So Arjun Mahesh, I think, is feeling a little bit of maybe, I would say, might be a little bit nervous about the way things have developed so far. But both he and Aryan Tamala are great young cricketers, and they can both, despite the results from this morning, put that out of their mind and start to think about pushing toward a decent total here. This is Arjun Mahesh on strike. Short ball, well played. Up on the toes, guiding it down to deep third for a single. George Yadav. Oh my goodness, another no ball. I missed it when it happened. It is a no ball and yet another free hit. George Yadav has his arms akimbo because he will not like the fact that he's now going to have to bowl another free hit delivery. So the no ball plus the single plus now a free hit. So essentially this is not what you want. Well, you don't ever want a no ball, but particularly as an opening bowler inside the power play. And even though you can change the field because the batters switch, there's still only 2 allowed outside the circle. Here's a free hit delivery. Swings for the fences. That is 6. That lands on the roof of the stands area to the southern end of the ground. I'm sorry, the northern end of the ground. And this time the free hit delivery does hurt. That's not something that George Yadav will be happy about. It landed with a thud, and if that my estimate is probably about an 85-yard hit. A solid, solid strike. It's 60 yards to the boundary. That ball was hit from the opposite end, so probably another 20 yards there, 22 yards. And then I might have undersold that because that spectators area is probably 15 yards away. All told, probably close to a 90-meter hit. That is a big hit, and he absolutely punishes George Yadav for the free hit. So we'll see exactly what happens from here, but that's not something that they'll be happy about, the captain, because George Yadav is a great bowler, but if you overstep, you can get punished. So you will certainly see what the results of that is going to be, because from here, you've conceded a few runs, and you still have a couple of deliveries left. Make that 1 delivery to bowl here in over number 3. And now the objective is just to get out of the over without further damage. 10 runs already coming from the over. And this is going to be the last ball of over number 3. Played into the backward point area, no run. And that is the end of the over. A good over. No, in fact, the scorecard itself was wrong. I was right, the scorecard is wrong. That's a dot ball. This will be the last ball of the over. And it has been a good over, save for the no ball and the subsequent 6. So we'll see exactly what happens from here. But George Yadav, again, the objective is going to be the same. He's going to need to close this out without further damage. The TCC Kings 20 without loss. And George Yadav is now going to look to close things out. Here is short delivery, skied. It will land safely right beside the umpire at square leg, and they will, in fact, get a single. And that is a single that closes things out here in over number 3. Once again, an eventful over. At the end of 3, the score is 21 without loss.
Okay, that starts over number 4. Daniel Bagani from the highway end. Facing Daniel would be Arjun Mahesh. It's Aryan Tumala who has made most of the damage here, getting those getting those big hit of the no ball free hit from the previous over. Quick single by Arjun, just nudging the ball towards mid-on, bringing Aryan Tumala on strike. It's over number 4 still. They are in the middle of power play. Have a first lip standing right behind, slightly behind the wicketkeeper. That's up in the air. Whacked over sweeper covers, reach over the boundary ropes for a massive 6. Aryan Tumala seems to have really found the mojo here in terms of going big after a couple of games playing at HYPL. A massive 6 over sweeper cover. Yeah, is the captain planning to change anything? No. Same field remains. Just a tap towards backward point, and they take a quick single, bringing Arjun back on strike. At this point, it seems like Arjun is letting Aryan free up his arms pretty much, and he's more of doing the supporting role. 2 deliveries left in this over of Daniel Bagani. Daniel coming in for his 5th delivery of this over. Banging a little short of length, but nicely guided away by Arjun Mahesh beyond the reach of deep third man for a boundary. Skillfully played that shot, knowing that there's nobody between gully and first lip. Ball has actually traveled to the next ground. There it comes back into the boundary. Last ball of this over, number 4. Arjun facing Daniel Bagani. TCC Kings coming into this game with a big defeat in the morning. They could not put up a big score on the board and ended up crumbling. Now it seems that they have come back with a positive mindset to go after the bowlers right from the get-go. There's a quick run by the 2 batters, guiding the ball towards point. Just a single right there to end the over. Number 4, 35 for the no loss. Aryan Tumala on 23 from 15 with 2 massive hits over the fence. And Arjun Mahesh on 11. Looks like there's a bowling change coming in from the commentary box end. Pranav Ramji replacing Joy Jadhav. This would be probably the first time Pranav Ramji would be bowling from the commentary box end, because in all the previous games he was allowed to bowl from the highway end. So looking at the field set, they have a slip in place, a gully point No sweeper cover. There is covers and extra covers. I have someone here trying to pull my leg. Bowler coming in from the commentary end. Just a nudge towards the gully fielder for a single, bringing back Aryan Tumala on strike. No sweeper cover in place. There's a long on and long off. Is that there's no attempt made by the fielder in covers to dive and stop the single there. Watching the ball go past the fielder and trying to jog behind the ball. Ball heading towards the boundary with that shot. Coming back for the third delivery of the over. Aryan Tumala on strike. It's a short ball this time, no protection on the leg side either. So the ball conveniently finds the rope and deep square. Bowler bowling, trying to bowl a bouncer there, bank shot, and the batter making full advantage of that, pulling it towards the deep square leg region for a well struck boundary. Aryan Tumala on 31 of 17 deliveries. Quick field change being made. They're putting a sweeper cover right now. Again, banged shot this time, and the result being the same as the previous delivery. This time pulled between cow corner and long on for a another boundary there. So the little bit of rethinking that's happening. Keeper coming up to talk to the bowler, asking for any field changes that needs to be done. It's been an expensive over so far. Keeper Ronak Saluja coming in to share a few words with the bowler and going back to his place. Now that's the fifth delivery of the over coming in from the commentary box end. This time bowled slightly outside off, and ball finds the fielder at gully. Just a dot ball, no runs taken there. A slip back in place again this time. This is going to travel, beat the fielder at long on for another boundary to end the over, number 5. Very productive over for TCC Kings, getting 17 runs from that over.
So 5 overs are up. Pranav Ramji, I think, will be probably grounded tonight if Mr. Ramji Ramasubramanian has anything to do with it. For those of you who do not know, the bowler who just completed that over is the son of the voice, or the man whose voice you heard on the mic for the last 2 overs. It's time for me to take over my spell. Again, I'll bowl 2 overs, and then Mr. Ramji will have another spell. So we're bowling in 2 over spells here in the commentator's booth. In the meantime, it is the last over of the power play coming up. And that over will be bowled by the captain, Aryan Satish, leg spinner. It's always a little bit tricky to bring a spinner on inside the power play overs. Again, the power play is the first 6 overs of the innings. And within those first 6 overs, you can only have 2 fielders outside the circle. And so a spinner is going to have to be bang on target with both his line and his length, because you don't have any protection in the deep other than those 2 fielders. And in fact, I completely missed that. My apologies, because it's, I believe, Anch Boje bowling from Shayan Chakraborty. Okay, my apologies. So forget everything I just said about Aryan Satish. This is going to be Shayan Chakraborty bowling from the highway end. But the concept is still the same. It is a spinner bowling inside the power play. Let's see how well this goes. Quick flat, pushing it through quickly. And of course, as you'd imagine, there's protection straight down the ground. That is, I believe, Anch Boje down there at long on. Just a single to start over, number 6. So the TCC Kings off to a bit of a fast start. Again, looking at where they were now as compared to this morning. This morning they were bowled out for 76. Right now they are 52 without loss. Appeal for a catch. A very delayed reaction. It has to be said, a delayed appeal. And the bowler joined in the appeal about 5 seconds after it started. So umpire Cameron Best would not have been fooled by that. So very loud dot ball. But a good productive power play so far. 53 coming from it. That's played off the back foot, but straight to backward point. That is Pranav Ramji, who is doing his best Eskimo impression. Very bundled up. Not quite as cold as it was this morning. Not very quite as cold as it was this morning. This one played into the offside. And a couple of good, in fact, 4 good deliveries to start out here. 4 dot balls. Make that 3 dot balls and a single. But either way, a really good productive over here. Taking the air out of the balloon a little bit. This builds some pressure for the TCC Kings. Let's see how they respond. Oh, look at that catch! Absolutely stunning! Aryan Satish, one-handed, thick edge, taken to him at first slip, and he sticks his hand out, and it sticks. Absolutely stunning. You do not have time to try to catch that. It either sticks or it does not. Thick edge, flew at pace. He stuck his hand out, and that ball stuck. That is absolutely stunning. The first wicket falls. That is the dismissal of Aryan Tamala, who was looking good. But he gets out for 39 from 24 balls, 5 fours and 2 sixes. But it took an absolutely brilliant catch by the captain, Aryan Satish, to remove him. So, 1 delivery remaining here in over number 6. Not only is he bowling a really tight over inside the power play, but he just took the wicket of the most destructive batter for the day so far for the TCC Kings. And in fact, we're taking a quick break. I'm not exactly sure why we're taking a break 5 overs in, but they're taking a break, so we'll take one with you. 5.5 overs, the score is 53 for 1. So back after an unscheduled strategic timeout, let's call it that. One ball remaining here in the power play, over number 6, 53 for 1, and your new batter is about to take strike. That new batter is Shayan Chakraborty. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong column. Ajay Prithviraj. The bowler is Shayan Chakraborty. 1 run conceded and 1 wicket in his first over so far. This is the last ball of that first over. Played off the back foot, into the covers, no run, and a brilliant first over that ends in 1 wicket and only 1 run scored. And again, this is inside the power play where it's much more difficult. That's the end of over number 6. The power play is done and dusted, and the score is 53 for 1.
Blame the jersey vendor for the size of the number.
So that is the end of the power play. We are currently protesting the size of the numbers on the jerseys that are not consistent with old guys being able to read them. The new bowler coming from the Forest end is going to be Sujit Nathaniel. Sujit Nathaniel, who is a right arm off spinner, tosses this one up. That's well bowled. And that is actually the perfect length. Arjun Mahesh wanting to come down the track, but stopped in his tracks because he's trying to drag him forward. You can see exactly what he's trying to do. Let's see how well he does it again. Tossed up again, but this time the line is wrong. It put away. I believe this might have the legs to get to the boundary. It does. So he's going to, oh no, my apologies. He pulled that back. Good piece of work down there. I think that's Joy Jadhav. That's well done. And I think that he does enough to prevent 2 runs from scoring. So, again, good work in the deep by Joy Jadhav, sprinting around to his right. Remember, he's a left-hander, so that's a much more difficult play to make, to pick up with your right and then turn around and throw with your left. So good work for him. In the meantime, a couple of runs. Arjun Mahesh again taking strike. This one is pulled towards the gap between mid-wicket and long on. That is Ansh Boje, who does well enough that they only limit them to 1 run. So good work. So you, as a spinner, you want the batters to be playing shots, and the fielders are doing enough supporting you that you're not being hurt by that. In the air for a while, but straight down to long off for another single. So you're getting the runs in 1s and 2s. You don't mind that, again, as a spinner. That's something that you'd be encouraged by. Arjun Mahesh now back on strike. He's on 16 from 15 with a boundary. Down the ground, should just be a single. Aryan Satish does the work down here. So, again, a spinner who can keep things quiet and only concede 1s and 2s is doing the job that his captain needs for him to. Last ball coming up now in over number 6. Oh, big, goes big, down the ground. And the catch is dropped, is put down by the captain, Aryan Satish. He had enough time, he got there, but couldn't close the deal. And he's going to be a little bit upset by that, I think. Oh, my apologies. Saved. Oh, it's 1 run, my apologies. So 1 run saved, so the catch is dropped. They only get 1 run for that. So that is the end of the over. 6 runs coming from that over. At the end of 7, the score is 59 for 1. 59 for 1. Once again, here in the commentary area, we are working in 2-over spells. So this will be my second spell, or second over in this spell. And after that, I'll hand things off to the man who, at first I was curious why he came to watch this game of all games. Now it all makes sense. Dot ball to start with here in over number 8. This over being bowled now by Anch Boje. Oh, Sharon still. I'm sorry. I'm not sure why the scorecard says Anch Boje. That, in fact, that is Anch Boje who just fielded that ball. So, yeah, a scorecard for some reason saying, okay, now they've changed it. Sharon Chakraborty, 2 delivers in, 2 dot balls to start over number 8. So good work on his part. Overall, the scoring rate has been decent. I'll give you some more thoughts about that in a second. That's a thick outside edge just running away down the hill. It will get to the boundary for 4. So this edge, if there had been a slip fielder in position, that probably, in fact, there was a slip fielder in position. That was the captain himself, but it went wide of him, Aaron Satish, and he was not able to get to it. Similar type of delivery, that thick edge stuck in his right palm earlier on for the first wicket. This time the edge took it much wider, and he was not able to get to it. Goes away for 4. So, I said the scoring rate is not terrible. In fact, it's really good. Scoring rate is 8.59. And with that, in fact, that's a single. So let's go through some projections. Current scoring rate, 8.53. At this rate, that projects to a score of 171, which would, I think, be a really, really good total. At 9 runs and over from here, that projects to 177. 10 runs and over from here projects to 189. 11 runs and over from here projects to 202. 11 may be out of reach. 10 may be out of reach, but they still have 9 wickets in hand. So I think they'd be looking for somewhere between 8 and 9 runs and over. So you can probably expect a score north of 160. Played back to the bowler himself here. Fields for no run. So good couple of delivers here. Sharon Chakraborty bowling well, only conceded 6 runs already from his 1.4, 1.5 overs. And here's the last ball of over number 8. Tosses it up again. Played well, though, off the back foot. That will race away for 4. That was really well played by Arjun Mahesh. It was played late and intentional, keeping it fine of that fielder backward point. Racing across the carpet for yet another boundary. So 9 runs coming from that over. A very productive one. Overall run rate 8.5. At the end of 8, the score is 68 for 1.
Okay. A boundary to end the over. Sujit Nathaniel coming back into the attack from the commentary booth end. TCC Kings firmly placed at this stage of the game. 8 overs, 1 wicket, 68 runs. Have a very seasoned and experienced Arjun Mahesh in the middle, along with Ajay Prithviraj. He's been scoring a run a ball 7 so far. It'll be interesting given the fact that TCC Kings does not have a very long batting lineup. It's important for the 2 players in the middle to stick around, to build a decent partnership, and to be able to get a good score on the board. Sujit coming in. Slow delivery. Tap towards sweeper cover for a single, bringing Arjun Mahesh on strike. Sujit has been taking the pace off from the deliveries, this time flighting it, but slightly down the leg. Still, the batters managed to take a single. The fielder at short fine leg placed just for that purpose. Ajay coming back into strike. This time pitch short and hit between the fielders at deep square leg and cow corner. The batter decided to punish this, not going to come his way every time, so he wanted to take full advantage of that, going for a boundary. Sujit will be looking to fix his length this time, or we'll have to wait and see if he's going to overcorrect that or pitching it at the right length. Coming in. Again, pitch short this time. But this time, the ball finds the fielder at cow corner, the captain himself, Aryan Satish. Just a single of that delivery, getting Arjun on strike. Still not getting the length. I'm not sure if that was intentionally bowled slower and shorter to keep the ball low. Again, this time only a single conceded. Ball going towards the long on region. Last ball of this over, number 9. Again, directed between cow corner and long on. Just a single to end the over. Number 9, 9 runs from that over. Playing consistent with their current run rate. TCC Kings are 77 for the loss of 1 wicket at the end of 9 overs. Is there going to be a bowling change? Are they keeping Cheyenne continuing from the highway end at this point? The two batters in the middle, Ajay, Prithviraj, and Arjun Mahesh, playing very sensibly based on the conditions of the game. They've got a good platform in the power play with the help of Aryan Tumala and Arjun. And it's that time of the game where they do a consolidation. Ajay trying to sweep the delivery this time. There's no fielder. Okay, the fielder coming in, running in from gully. Captain himself, Aryan Satish, stopping the ball a few inches from the boundary rope. Managed to take a single, bringing Arjun back on strike. Arjun putting that back to the bowler again. No runs conceded of that second delivery. This time ball a little wider, and Arjun trying to cut, but finding the fielder at gully. Just a single. Had to be contented with a single right there. Cheyenne bowling a really tight spell there. It's been very, very economical, not giving away runs. Just the ones and singles would not matter for them at this point. A quick chat in the middle between the two batters, Ajay and Arjun, getting some directions from his senior. With 3 more deliveries left in this over, number 10, the halfway mark. Again, going for the sweep shot this time. Could not get a bat on it. Last time, was not able to push it to the boundary. Wanted to try it again this time. Could not make good connection, so resulting in a dot ball. It's likely that one of the next two deliveries, he's going to probably try again a sweep shot, in my opinion. This time, no, he goes over the mid-wicket region, but only a single from that delivery. Arjun takes strike for the last delivery of over number 10. Arjun looking around. Is he going to go over the infield? Yeah, he is. And this time over the mid-wicket area, going all the way for a boundary to end the over number 10. 9 runs of that over. And that puts TCC Kings at 85 for the loss of 1 wicket at the end of 10 overs, the halfway mark. Current run rate with 8.24. Actually, no, it's 8.5. Beg your pardon. It was the previous delivery's current run rate. And projected score 170. The score will stay true if the two batters in the middle continue to play at least till the next 5-6 overs. However, it remains to be seen because, as I mentioned earlier, there is a very TCC Kings does not have a very long batting lineup, so it is very vital for them to have these two players going on at least for the next 5-6 overs to be able to put a fighting score on the board. Quick water break for the batters. Probably along with the water break, some words from the coach on how to approach the next 2-3 overs. Are they going to have a change in bowler this time, or looks like Sujit still has the ball in his hand?
So a change in bowlers and a change in commentary. Working in 2 over spells again. Happy to be alongside Mr. Ramji Ramasubramanian. Yes, I said your full name. So halfway through, 10 overs bowled, 20 to go. The score is 85 for 1. Tossed up in the air, catchable. That's a go. He put it down. He got there, Ansh Bolje, got all the way there, but could not pouch it. And it was sinking. Those are sometimes the hardest catches to take. Flat and sinking as you get toward, or it gets toward you in the outfield. But Ansh Bolje is a great outfielder. You would think he would have taken that one. Tossed up again, going down the leg side and bounces past Joy Jadav. Caught him in between hops, as they say in baseball, and it runs away to the fine leg boundary. So an eventful start here, almost 2 consecutive catching opportunities in 2 balls, but it does result in 5 runs having started the second half of this innings. So a single to start the over and then a boundary. Arjun Mahesh has been there for a while. Opened the batting. He's at 28 from 23 with 3 fours. And in the air, in the gap, but there's a fielder out there. That's Daniel Bagani coming off the rope at deep point. So just a single. So in thinking of where you are projected to be here, the current scoring rate 8.67. That projects to 173. That's been the projection all along, as this is played in that same direction again. Should just be a single again. But bearing in mind that there's 9 wickets in hand, so you expect that the batting side, even though, as Ramji said, they don't bat very deep, but the closer it gets to the end of the innings, if they have 1 wicket, just have lost 1 wicket, then it allows them to be a lot more adventurous. This is a fumble to backward point, direct hit, but he's home. So expect that they will start being more and more adventurous. They'll start taking more chances, and so the overall scoring rate will increase. It's now at 8.58. I would think at minimum they'd be looking for 10 and over from here, which projects to 185. So something in the neighborhood of 175 to 185 realistically is what they can be looking at getting to. This is now Ajay Prithviraj on strike. 19 from 16. Tossed up. Oh, swipes. Attempted sweep. Not able to get to it. Stumping attempted, but umpire Cameron Best was, I think, convinced that that back foot remained in place. So that is the end of over number 11. At the end of the over, it is 93 for 1. Okay, so then let's play a game. I projected just now that the final score will be between 174 and 183. I think that Mr. Ramji Ramasubramanian, probably with blue-colored glasses on, projects the score to be 155. Let's see, by the way, for those of you who are listening, if you wanted to chime in, the live chat is open. So if you wanted to guess as to what this final score is going to be, I'll give you a solid number. My solid number is 172. 172, your guess is 155. If anybody who is listening wants to chime in, I'd be more than happy to take your guesses. In the meantime, 93 for 1, and it's going to be, again, Sharon Chakraborty. 3 overs, 1 for 19. Oh, what a cheeky shot. The late cut. That is from, I'm going to date myself with this shot, the Frank Worrell School of Batting. And that races down the hill for 4. Ramji, there's probably 3 people listening right now who even know the name Frank Worrell. But that shot was a shot of class. Just opening the face, the most delicate of late cuts. Almost cut that one right from the keeper's gloves, and it raced away for 4. Arjun Mahesh now up to 38 from 27 with 5 fours. Ajay Prithviraj, 19 from 17 with 2 fours. Remember, this pair came together when the score was 53, so they've now added 44 runs for the second wicket.
Which international cricketer do you get reminded of?
Again, I'm dating myself. That is Frank Worrell. If I leap forward about 20 years, it's Lawrence Rowe. I can't think of anybody more recent than that who would have played that shot that well. Here is the next delivery. 2 straight down the leg side, and it's going to be 4 more. Can't bowl that line with deep third or with fine leg inside the circle. And all that Arjun Mahesh had to do is get the ball past that deep fine leg fielder, and it was always going to be 4 more. So consecutive boundaries to open up over number 12. Mr. Pranav Ramji, are you still sure that 155 is your projected score? Because if your projected score is 155, that would mean, sir, that they would score from here. Essentially, a run a ball takes them to 153. So,
My assumption is there's going to be a couple of wickets.
So he's begging for his son, Pranav Ramji, to come back on and knock over 3 or 4 as of right now, with 2 deliveries having been bowled in over number 12. It is the fact that the 100 is now up. 101 for 1, and 2 well-set batters. Arjun Mahesh 42, Ajay Prithviraj 19. Quick single taken here to short third. And I'll tell you, this is starting to build some momentum. At 102, remember, the wicket fell at 53. So this partnership is now worth 49 runs. And to the extent that they can continue doing this, I think it bodes. Oh my goodness, that could have gone anywhere. Looking to force it off of the back foot on the leg side. Acres of room out there. You can see why he was trying to play that shot. But the under edge went onto his boot. Very easily could have hit the stumps. So he lives to fight another day with that dot ball. 2 more balls now remaining in over 12. Goes big, down the ground. But there's protection down there on the boundary. Long on coming around a few steps. Another single. 10 runs from the over already, though. So that puts us in the position where we are going to just absolutely blow Mr. Ramasubramanian's prediction out of the water, probably by over 16, I would guess. Here's the last ball in over number 12. Off the back foot, that's just going to be a single. The captain himself, Aryan Satish, cleans up. That is the end of a very good over for the TCC Kings. 11 runs coming from it. 45 runs have come from the last 5 overs. So they're building, you would think, toward a launch toward the back end of this innings. I think that's the end of my spell. And I'll be back in a couple of overs. In the meantime, here's Mr. Ramji.
Thank you, Mr. Brian Walters. Very sensible batting between the two in the middle, I would say. They have been trying to manipulate the field very well in terms of finding the gaps, not going for those really big shots, been able to just nudge the ball through the gaps, either whether it's on the offside or on the leg side, and they have been very successful so far. That ends Cheyon's spell. He gave 30 runs from those 4 overs, taking a wicket. The only wicket to have fallen in this particular innings. Sujit Nathaniel comes back to bowl the last over of his quota for this game. Sujit's conceded so far 22 runs from 3 overs. Arjun on strike. Making some quick field sets. You have a cow corner, a wideish long on, long off, a sweeper cover, and a backward square leg, deep backward square leg. Oh, backward square leg brought in to the field, into the 30 yards. So it's more like fine leg. Be interesting to see what's running in Arjun's mind right now. Arjun, again, a short ball this time, punished. Put over the ropes, over cow corner for a magnificent 6. Arjun with that big hit over the fence gets his half century. 50 runs of just 31 deliveries with 6 hits to the fence and 1 over it. A very well-paced and mature innings from Arjun Mahesh, picking the deliveries, picking the bowlers at will, and scoring at a very healthy run rate. Some discussion happening between the keeper and the leg umpire. Not sure what is the question about, but the 2 umpires are in discussion right now. Mind TCC Kings so far have scored at more than 9 runs per over. So the Crick Clubs currently puts the projected score at 181. There's still some discussion between the umpires. Not sure what the nature of the discussion is. Batters back at their crease. Main umpire coming back to his position. So that will be the second delivery of this over. The first one punished. Bowler has been given instruction to pitch it up this time, playing on the offside. Sweeper cover comes to the rescue. 2 runs, 2 quick runs from TCC Kings. What's Arjun going to do from here on, given the fact that there are only 7 overs left after this? This time just tapping it towards the square leg and managing a single. Three deliveries completed and 3 to go from this over number 13. Small field change being done. Cow corner brought in to mid wicket. Pitched up this time, not carrying towards the fielder at long on, just a single taken, bringing Arjun back on strike. 2 more deliveries. Arjun try for a big shot. Yeah, again playing between the point and sweeper cover region for a single. $11 runs of this over so far. Again, another productive over for the TCC Kings. Very well bowled this time. Ajay wanted to free his arms, seeing the ball was pitching where it was pitching, and it kind of took the batter by surprise when it bounced a little more than expected. So just a single from that last delivery. Over number 13, 12 runs for TCC Kings from that over number 13, putting their total to 116 for the loss of 1 wicket. Is there going to be a bowling change? Looks like there has been some discussion with the coach, and that brings in Joy Jadhav from the highway end. Bowling change coming in. Oh, actually, it's not Joy Jadhav. It is, looks like Balan, like Akhilesh Balan. Actually, bringing in another spinner from the highway end to slow the flow of runs. Bowled, pitched up, bowled full toss. Just a single towards long off. It is Akhilesh Balan who's bowling, picking up the ball in his hands for the first time, and making some field adjustments, bringing in cow corner towards long on. No cow corner, they have a mid wicket. Deep square leg. This time pulled over. Is he going to take the catch? Oh, he misses it. The fielder at deep square leg misses the catch. It's a very expensive catch, definitely, that from Arjun Mahesh. However, they managed to take 3 quick runs from that. Akhilesh Balan, this time pitching it short again. Not able to get under the ball this time, but just a single for TCC Kings. Bringing back Arjun on strike. That's a bit of a fumble from the captain, Aryan Satish, and Arjun wants to make full use of it. Takes a single. what should have been a dot ball got them another extra run here. So 4 deliveries, 6 runs so far from this over. Edge, and this time Aryan Satish running along with the ball and stopping it a couple of yards away from the boundary. Just a single once again, bringing Arjun back on strike. Arjun on 58 from 36 deliveries. Bold full toss, low full toss, tap towards long on just for a single to end the over numbers 14. They want a second run, but was turned back by Arjun. 7 runs of this over, number 14. The score is 124 for the loss of 1 wicket. An excellent partnership growing here. 71 runs between the two of them, Arjun Mahesh and Ajay Prithviraj. So that brings up another bowling change from the commentary box end. And Sujit has completed his quota of 4 overs for 34. Brings back Pranav Ramji for his second over. The first over was rather expensive, but the coach and the captain seem to have put in the confidence in the bowler and bringing him back for the second spell.
Brian Walters again back with you as Mr. Ramji Ramasubramanian has excitedly and hurriedly exited stage left. And the reason for that is because Pranav Ramji has the ball in hand again, coming back for his second over. This is clipped off of his legs down to deep backward square. Wanted a second, but it was not there. But where you are right now, the score is building toward what would seem to be a pretty significant moment. At the moment, the score is 125 for 1 inside over number 15. Good delivery, played into the offside, extra cover on the edge of the circle, a couple of singles. So good start here by Pranav Ramji. 2 singles in over number 15 with 9 wickets in hand is actually great going. So let's see exactly where we end up here. Once again, looking for essentially just finding that line and length. That is a good ball on the off stump, and it was bouncing, just riding the bounce on this one and getting it down to backward square or backward point. So 3 singles to start over number 15. This is really excellent bowling. And I'm not just saying that because his father is standing to my left. Anytime you can see 3 singles in over number 15 when the batting side has 9 wickets in hand, this is good going. Top edge, catchable. And taken. Boy, look at this. Absolutely brilliant. The 4th delivery of over number 15 brings a wicket. Short delivery. Got up maybe just a little bit higher than that previous short delivery he bowled in his first over. And this one was only top-edged, and he does the hard work and breaks the big partnership. Ajay Prithviraj is dismissed 26 from 26 with 2 fours, but it is Pranav Ramji who does the hard work for his captain and breaks the partnership. That is a big development in the context of this game because it breaks a huge partnership. Again, this pair came together when the score was 53, if I remember correctly. So a pretty big partnership here. And it is broken once again by Pranav Ramji. So that is the end of the day with the bat for Ajay Prithviraj. 2 balls remaining now in over number 15. And to the extent that you needed to break that partnership to try to get back into this match, that's exactly what you've done. Again, courtesy of Pranav Ramji, who's done what his captain needed for him to do. And in a second, we will look at exactly where things are. Once again, 127 for 2 is where you are right now with only 2 delivers remaining in over 15. So this will be important. Once again, if you're going to control the scoring, you're going to have to take wickets. That scoring rate up to 8.66 now. And they have obviously taken the momentum away because they've taken yet another break. So, needless to say, in cricket can sometimes be a game of who has the most momentum or who is taking advantage of the situation that is developing at that time.
I'm seriously appalled by the the lack of planning here because on 2 consecutive occasions, whenever the wicket fell, you as a fielding side would want to stay put in your position and not give the batter time to settle in and push for another wicket or squeeze the dot balls from that batter. However, you are ending up taking a break from that fall of wicket. Really is an interesting thing at this particular stage of the game, where you see TCC Kings have been cruising along so well, and you have applied breaks at a very, very crucial juncture in the game. And it's important from this point on for the Skywalkers to capitalize on this breakthrough and apply breaks in the remaining 4-5 overs that are left in this innings.
Words of wisdom from Mr. Ramji. And looking at where you are now, the batter at the opposite end, Arjun Mahesh, 61 from 39. 61 from 39 with 6 fours and a 6. And that brings to the wicket Savir Gudipati. Pranav Ramji will be looking to continue what for him has been a brilliant comeback over. Again, he went for some runs in his first over, but he's done the hard work to come back here, bowling an excellent over, 2 delivers remaining in over 15. So just another 32 balls left in the innings. 127 runs on the board. Current projected score is still 173. And this is played back to the bowler. Good start, bang on target, no run. And I will tell you that this is the type of over that you're looking for in this instance. What you're trying to do is to just get as much as possible the opportunity to put the ball in the right areas. Last delivery, that's a good ball. Defended into the leg side, he fields it himself. What an absolutely brilliant over by Pranav Ramji. That is the end of over 15. At the end of 15, the score is 128 for 2. So Pranav Ramji's 2 overs 1 for 21, but that's very misleading. His first over went for 17, and it was just outside the power play, if I remember correctly. This is in the air and past extra cover, going close to the boundary. I think that's George I'd have down there at the boundary, diving stop to pull it back. They'll save 2. So back to the point I was just making. Pranav Ramji, first over, went for 17 runs. This next over, down the ground now. This is going to run away for 4. And I'm glad I was not paying attention. I'm glad Mr. Ramji is standing right here, otherwise that ball might have hit me. But on the back of an over by Pranav Ramji that went for 4 runs in which he took a wicket, Arjun Mahesh and Suvir Gudipati are looking to swing the momentum back in the direction of the TCC Kings. 2 is the call immediately, but I don't think there's realistically much chance of getting there. So 8 runs from the first 3 balls here of over number 16. So you're looking at the last 27 deliveries. 27 deliveries in which Ramji Ramasubramanian wants them to score 19 runs. I don't know how possible that's going to be, but we'll see. More stranger things have happened in cricket. Good delivery here, outside off. Defended for no run. Down the ground, big hit, but catchable. And he took it. Oh, no. Oh, yes, it did. Okay, so he raised both hands. At first, I thought he was signaling 6, but in fact, he was celebrating. So that is the end. Maybe Mr. Ramji might be right after all, as he's looking like the cat that ate the canary. Cricket is a funny game indeed. The 5th delivery after an over that went for 8 is one that has taken a wicket. Went for the big hit, Suvir Gudipati. And in fact, that was Arjun Mahesh.
No, that was
Suvir Gudipati is the one who was out. Wanted to go big. Nope, it is Arjun Mahesh according to the scorecard. Okay, scorecard is wrong. And I'm glad that somebody is here who knows what they're talking about. So we'll skip over what the scorecard says and instead announce that Suvir Gudipati is out, 8 from 6 with a boundary. And the new batter coming to the crease will take guard. It is Srihan Chala. Srihan Chala joining his captain, Arjun Mahesh. Srihan Chala. 1 ball to face. Here he is. Looks to play this off the back foot. Doesn't get any bat on it. And that is the end of a successful over. Started out very expensively, but did the hard work to come back. Akhilesh Balan, and took a wicket. So his 2 overs have cost him 16, but he has taken a wicket. Economy rate of 8.7. Overall economy rate in the innings so far, almost bang on target with that exact number. In fact, the dot ball means that the overall economy rate for the innings is 8.5. After 16, the score is 136. Okay, so I'm assuming that Mr. Ramji Ramasubramanian is still not yet ready to take the mic because the man who's taking the ball in hand, and he's obviously as superstitious as I am. The last time his son took the ball, he stood away from the desk and stood in silence and watched his son bowl one of the better overs that you'll ever see bowled in that instance. And so he has the ball in hand again, Pranav Ramji. And so let's see how well it does now. Bowling to Arjun Mahesh on 62. First deliver, plays it into the leg side. Thought for a split second they might try for 2, but Aryan Satish is off the fence at deep cow corner. Just a single. Last 23 balls. 7 wickets in hand. A set batter, 62 from, make that 63 from 40. Srihanchala not yet faced the delivery. In fact, he's faced one. Next ball slammed away into the deep. It's going to be at least 2. Daniel Bagani is there and does enough to keep it from going to the fence. So a couple more to the total. Now looking to see exactly where you're going to get your runs from, because after that delivery, you're down to the last 22 balls. Here's Pranav Ramji again. Up and over, but straight to point, and Joy Jadhav bobbled it. Again, the cat that ate the canary is playing it as cool as he possibly can, Mr. Ramji, but his son has just taken another wicket. Joy Jadhav had that ball go straight in, pop out, and pop right back in. So he takes the catch, and that is the second brilliant over underway here for Pranav Ramji as he dismisses Srihanchala. Boy, this game has swung a lot in the last few minutes back in the direction of the Texas Skywalkers. And Arjun Mahesh may be feeling that he's getting to the point where he might be running out of partners. This appears, at least to me, to be Ritvik Ramesh. We'll confirm that as soon as we can, but I'm assuming that's who that is. But let's confirm that in the meantime. But no, it might be Moksh Gupta. I think number 17, Moksh Gupta, will be, no, it is Ritvik Ramesh according to the scorecard. So let's assume the scorecard is correct. Pranav Ramji now 2.3 overs, 2 for 24. Once again, not to belabor the point, his first over went for 17. So he's absolutely done the hard work to pull things back. And Pranav Ramji now, interesting field, mid-on and mid-off are both halfway to the rope. Next delivery, swipe and a miss outside off. A dot ball. 2 balls remaining now here for Pranav Ramji. Really good bowling here. This, again, bowling in this situation is not easy. But he's done really well. Next delivery, almost identical to the previous ball, but this time, oh, just played into the outfield and just really not the best bit of fielding there in the covers. And he escorts the ball to the or toward the boundary. They add another 2 runs there. It's the type of fielding effort that you'd probably prefer not to see as a bowler. A bowler who's fired up and who's delivering from the standpoint of being able to hold the batters down. But then one gets played into the outfield, and it was a bit of casual fielding there. So, last over coming up, or last ball of the over, looking to cut this away, not making contact. But despite the fumble and the extra run taken from that last, second to last ball, still only 5 runs score in that over. 5 runs in over 17 really is brilliant bowling. Pranav Ramji's figures right now, 3 overs, 2 for 26. Take away that 1 over that went for 17. His figures would be 2 overs, 2 for 9. That is absolutely brilliant bowling. So, over 18 coming up, last 18 balls.
The tide team seems to be turning towards the Skywalkers in this stage of the game. They have picked up 2 quick wickets, one that of Srihanchala and also Suvir Gudipati in quick succession of consecutive overs. And prior to that, Ajay Prithviraj, who was well set along with in the company of Arjun Mahesh, built very good partnership now. It's Is it Balan? Yeah, it is Akhilesh Balan continuing from the highway end. First delivery, Arjun wants to go. This time he's trying to sweep, reverse sweep it, and he does that with a 100% success. Ball racing towards the boundary. 4 valuable runs from those 2 deliveries. First one, he wanted to go behind square in the deep fine leg area, but could not make the connection. But this time, he was able to go and achieve the success with a reverse sweep. 145 for the loss of 4 wickets. So it might be time for the captain to rethink about the fielding positions, knowing very well the ability of the batter in the middle to toy with the fielding positions and manipulate it very smartly. The bowler has to bowl spot on. This time it was just above the reach of the fielder at fine leg. Ball racing towards the boundary. 2 consecutive boundaries of the bat of Arjun Mahesh, turning out to be an expensive over. Making himself room to go over, knowing very well there was a fielder at short fine leg, going out of reach of that fielder. One of the tallest fielder in the team standing there. Bowled really well this time, and umpire makes no mistake in raising his finger. Just as Mr. Brian Walters was showing me the scorecard, that it's getting very dangerously close to that 155 mark, and Arjun was looking to take that very far from my assumption or my target to what Mr. Brian Walters was talking about. A wicket falls. Wonderful piece of bowling from Akhilesh Balan, taking the batter by surprise. Interestingly, that was an LBW decision appealed by the bowler right away, and umpire instantly raising his finger, and that brings to an end a very fine innings from Arjun Mahesh. Scored 71 of 44 deliveries, taking the long walk back to the pavilion. 2 new bowlers, 2 new batters in the middle right now. 5 wickets down. We have Ansh Bhakta and Ritvik Ramesh. Remains to be seen if the final total stays closer to my prediction or Mr. Brian Walters' prediction. Akhilesh Balan tasting success once again. Flighting this ball. Just missing the fingers of the bowler, missing again 2 times in a row, and giving away a very simple single there for the batter. I would say it's a simple single because the batter doesn't have to sweat hard. They just have to run. In fact, not even run hard, just jog across to get a single there. Probably the last delivery of the over. Hit down to mid-off and still manages a single. End of over number 16. We are at 149. Is it still 149? 150? 151. 151. End of over number 16. And
Boy, I really do wish there was a camera here in the commentator area, because the second that Pranav Ramji gets the ball in hand, his father drops the mic like a hot potato and walks away out of earshot. 12 balls remaining, and about the only intrigue is whether or not the TCC Kings will be held to a score of 155. Pranav Ramji is going to be doing what he can to make sure that they stay around where they are now, 151. But the two batters at the crease, Ansh Bhakta and Ritvik Ramesh, are going to be looking to push them somewhere closer toward the number I said, 170. I have to say 170 is looking further and further in the rearview mirror. Good start here, dot ball. Appeal for an LBW, but I don't think that was realistically going to be anywhere near out. But just as importantly, it's a dot ball. So Ritvik Ramesh has the job now of just, I would think, getting off strike. Just get something going. The field is closing in on him. In the air, that might land safely. It does clear short mid-wicket, so they'll get a single. So he's up to three from 5. Ansh Bhakta has not yet scored from the 2 balls he's faced. And we're down to the last 16, make that the last 10 balls of this innings. 152 runs on the board. So for a while there, when Arjun Mahesh was going crazy, it was looking like a score of 180-ish was possible. This is played off the back foot, running away down the hill. They should get at least 2, and in fact, it does go all the way for 4. That's really well played, and all of a sudden, ladies and gentlemen, say good night to Mr. Ramji Ramasubramanian's prediction, as the score now goes up to 156. With that elegant shot off the back foot, with deep third not in position. The fielder in that position was actually inside at short third. And so once it beat the infield, outfield here, Prairie View is very, very fast, and it raced across to the boundary. So, last 3 balls coming up here in over number 19. Outside off, too far outside off, and it's going to be a wide provided or given by umpire Sagar Bafsar. Thank you. Still 3 balls remaining here for Pranav Ramji. Once again, at the risk of repeating myself, a really good comeback for him from having bowled an ordinary first over. Pulled to mid-wicket, no run. So with 2 balls remaining in his spell, he's conceded. And by the way, my apologies. That may have the score wrong by, we'll see exactly what the score is. We have 157. The scoreboard has it at 155, but we'll confirm that as soon as we can. In the air, that's going to be caught. No, not judged well at all by Ansh Bojay, who was back on the circle at mid-on. But I always thought it was going over his head, but he appeared to have it covered. But unfortunately for him, it ended up being over his head. And very honestly, that's one of the ones that you would think would be taken. But they do run a single, and that single means last ball in the air. This will be taken. Taken by Joy Jadav, and believe it or not, Pranav Ramji is wrecking the side every time. Every time that he takes the ball, and Mr. Ramji Ramasubramanian takes off like a scalded cat, a wicket falls in that over. So that is the end of over. No, one more ball left in over number. No, that should be the end. Okay, the end of the over. Wicket. 156 for 6 after 19. So you've lost your bet, but you were closer than I was. Oh, I'm not. No, it's price of right rules. If you go over, the next lowest score is the one that wins.
You always round it off to the nearest decimal if you have learned mathematics, right?
Price of right rules.
So is it going to be Akhilesh Balan coming in for his last over once again? Probably yes.
I would say
yes. Yeah. A drop catch of the 5th delivery, but making corrections. This time, Akhilesh Balan, first ball, just a single. All field in for the new batter. Only 2 fielders out. Seems like a power play. Bowled very well, taking a slight edge. And, oh, actually, it's not edge, it was a bye. Seemed like the ball hit the keeper's glove and went behind the keeper for a single bye. Third delivery, tossed up, batter playing it over the bowler's head for a quick single. There's a little bit of stumble there between the 2 fielders running in from mid-on and mid-off. Stumble once, stumble twice, but only runs given is 1 run. This time again going over the top. Batter seems to be confident that the fielder's in and making full use of it, going over mid-wicket for a well-struck boundary. Great shot that by Ansh Bhakta. Sorry, was that Moksha Gupta? Sorry, that was Moksha Gupta going for that boundary. Scores now 163. I can see the big smile of Brian Walters coming in saying, "Hey, I told you." So the way things are trending towards, looks like we'll probably land somewhere between the 2 numbers. Full toss in the air, fielder making a half an attempt there. That was a no ball signaled by the umpire. So Moksha Gupta gets the benefit of the free hit from that no ball. It was a little interesting to see the fielder not making the full effort to take that catch, which was a certain catch. This time again trying to go flatter, but then the field has been set for that purpose. Have a fielder coming in from deep mid-wicket. Flat throw, just a single from that delivery. End of the over number. Oh, okay. That concludes the end of over number 20 and the innings. TCC Kings score 167 for a loss of 6 wickets. Brian, your prediction was 175. 73. I thought that you made the correction midway.
Either way, I'm close.
I give it to you. It was 173 and ends up victorious in this particular scenario. 167. Had there been catches that were taken in the middle that were meant to be there, at least 2-3 catches dropped in the whole process, this should have trended towards 155. So I took those catches also into account in my prediction. So I'll hand over the mic to Brian Walters for the the inning summary here.
So an interesting innings. Once again, when they played this morning, the TCC Kings were bundled out for 76. They make a much better account, or give a much better account of themselves on this occasion. Overall scores led from the top. In fact, the top 3 are the only 3 who got into double figures. Arjun Mahesh, 71 from 45 with 8 fours and a 6. Aryan Tamala, 39 from 24, 5 fours and 2 sixes. Ajay Prithviraj, 26 from 26 with 2 fours. So everyone else scored in single digits. And the bowlers, for me, the most impressive bowler, and once again, I'm not just saying that because his father is seated to my left. Pranav Ramji's first over went for 17. His next 3 overs combined went for 16 runs, and he took 3 wickets. So brilliant bowling on his part. And in fact, he's the 3rd best in terms of economy rates for all the other bowlers. 2 other bowlers took wickets. Shayan Chakraborty, 4 overs, 1 for 30. and Akhilesh Balan 4 overs 2 for 34. So that means that in order to win this game, the TCC Kings will be coming back out and asking the Texas Skywalkers to score less than 168 runs. We'll see if they can do exactly that. Join us here on the other end of a really short break, about 10 minutes or so. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Prairie View Cricket Complex for the completion of this game between the Texas Skywalkers and TCC Kings. The Kings making a much better, or giving a much better account of themselves. 167 runs with the bat, only 6 runs away from 173 as predicted by yours truly, and well in excess of what was predicted by Ramji Ramasubramanian. And it does, it does mean that in order to win this match, Ansh Boje and Moksh Gupta are going to be asked to see off. Okay. Oh. Ansh Boje and Sujit Nathaniel facing up to Aryan Tamala. First 2 deliveries are dots. And if you're looking to defend a below par total, maybe below par may be harsh. It's a challenging total. I think the batting side has more than enough firepower to overcome it, but they'll have to work for it. And it's not going to be easy against Ansh Boje. That's a good piece of fielding at backward point. That appears to be Chinmay. Okay, so Chinmay Rubiselvan at backward point. 3 dots to start with, make it 4 dots. Excellent bowling here by Aryan Tamala. So big picture, you're looking for 168 runs, and you need 168 runs. You needed them initially off 120 balls. Now you need them off 16 balls, as Aryan Tamala is bowling a solid over, and I think I may have just jinxed him. This is pulled into the deep. He'll get 2 runs as it is pulled to cow corner. He did have a field set perfectly for that type of shot, though. So, again, inside the power play, you can expect that there'll be very precise field placements. You can only have 2 outside. As it appears now, they only have 1 outside the circle. That's interesting. And he's in that same direction that ball just went before this last ball. And this ball is defended into the offside. Just a dot. So an excellent first over. Not only is he a good spinner, but he's a spinner who bowls exactly to his field. Only 1 person outside the circle. That's an interesting ploy. We'll see how long it stays like that. End of 1, 2 without loss. Two without loss. First over bowled Ajay Prithviraj. Bowling now from the highway end, which is the southern end of the ground. There's a little bit of a breeze coming in from the south. Not much, probably less than 5 miles an hour, but it is coming from the south. So he's bowling Ajay Prithviraj with the wind at his back. And so if this ball is elevated into the air by Ansh Boje, it will be hit into the wind. So bear that in mind as you see where we are now. Really interesting field. 1 fielder outside the circle, and he's at deep mid-wicket. Everyone else is inside. And so he's going to have to be bang on with his line and his length here. Ajay Prithviraj. Around the wicket to the left-hander. Played into the offside for no run. So with everyone but 1 inside the circle, and the 1 outside the circle is in the deep, he's going to have to bowl relatively straight. On the stumps, maybe even not quite toward the body, but if you give any kind of width, oh, my apologies, I missed seeing the fielder sweeping on the offside. So that does mean that he has some more latitude to be able to bowl that line outside off. In any event, it can't be too full because the two fielders outside the circle are square of the wicket. So if you're too full, he can drive you down the ground, and there's not a lot you can do to stop that. So the idea is to bowl short of length and bring those two sweepers into play on the offside and on the onside. So something to pay attention to as we go through this chase. Oh, just winding up for the big shot, but then plays an elegant late cut, running down the hill. Chinmahi Rubiselvan running it down, and she's able to prevent 2 runs from scoring. Did enough to prevent that ball from going all the way to the boundary. Was always slowing down. Don't know that it would have gotten to the boundary, but good work for Chinmahi to be able to run that one down. So another 2 runs scored. So you're looking at the point now where you have another 162 runs to get in 111 balls. That's 2 straight, and it gets the treatment, and it goes for 6. So the line was wrong, but pounced on by Ange Boje, getting inside the line from around the wicket, slanting that ball, angling it down the leg side. You really have to be either right on the stumps or just outside off. That one was going down the leg side, and Ange Boje only too quick to get inside the line and help it away for 6. So, started saying 162 before that ball, and you needed to get them in 111 balls. But that 6 sort of helps to relieve the pressure. You're needing to score from here at the rate of 8.51 and over, which is generally a challenging rate. It's not easy, but it also means that as a bowler, you have to bowl to your plan. And if your plan is to be short of length, you cannot have anything going down the leg side. Cut away. Oh, that's well fielded. Backward point. Can't prevent a run from scoring, though. And that is one more ball left here in over number 2. One more ball left in my spell before Mr. Ramji comes back on, and very frankly, it's easy for him to commentate now because his son is not anywhere on the field, and so you'll be able to get level-headed, expert, objective commentary. That 155 for me had a hint of subjectivity about it. So here is the last ball of over number 2. Defended to mid-wicket, no run. That is the end of the over. End of 2, the score is 13 without loss.
Thank you, Mr. Brian Walters. 2 overs, 13 runs after that first over that cost them only 2 runs. Very productive over from a Texas Skywalkers perspective. 11 runs of this over. So it would be Aryan Tumala coming into his second over from the commentary booth end. Texas Skywalkers, knowing very well that they already have cemented their place in the finals, are trying to ensure that everyone gets some time in the middle in terms of batting. Made some slight adjustments in their batting order, kept their opening batter Ansh Boche, and partnered him with Sujit Nathaniel here at the top of the order. Skywalkers have a pretty decent and deep batting lineup. So this time Aryan Tumala going across and bowling around the wicket for the left-hander Ansh Boje. A half-hearted appeal from the bowler and the keeper. But the ball definitely was outside the leg stump. Tap towards Sweeper cover. What could have been just a single, they managed to run 2 runs right there. Ansh pushing his partner for the second run. Make some quick field changes there, switching fielders between square leg and sweeper cover. Sorry, not square leg. It's point and sweeper cover, being left-hander. Playing towards point, no runs taken off that delivery. Aryan trying to minimize the damage that was done from the previous over. Three fielders under the delivery, under the ball, but no one gets to the ball. Actually, the fourth one also comes rushing in, trying to take the catch, but lands in no man's land. Keeper and bowler appreciating the field, knowing that it was not a straightforward catch. Bringing back Sujit Nathaniel on strike. Taps it back to the bowler. No runs taken off that delivery. Last delivery of over number 3. Going over the top this time. Is there a fielder coming under him? Oh, no, that was dropped. And they conveniently take 2 runs. Skywalkers taking the risk here, making full use of the power play. Could have been a catch, a brilliant catch, if the fielder was under the ball in time. That ends over number 3, 16 for no loss, in pursuit of a target of 167 set by TCC Kings. Ajay Prithviraj bowling his second over. The first one going for 11 runs. Is coming in for the second over, bowling from the highway end. Keeper Arjun Mahesh controlling the field placement very effectively, making subtle changes, knowing very well where Ansh Boje would target. Having a second slip. Ansh going over the top this time. There's a fielder under it. However, was looking all around it, trying to take the catch. Was kind of undecided on whether to go for the catch or what, was it coming towards him or not. Eventually dropping it. In fact, not making any attempts to take the catch. Just a single of that delivery. Gets Sujit on strike. Sujit again goes for the big hit over mid-wicket, but there's a fielder out there. Just 1 run from that delivery. With a right and left combination in the middle, it's always a challenge for the fielders to keep running from one end to the other. Keeper Arjun Mahesh making some subtle changes. He wants his deep square leg to be more finer. Well fielded by the fielder at point. No runs taken. Batter was expecting delivery to come a bit shorter for him to be able to pull over square leg, but this time he was foxed by the bowler's field placement. Quick change of field placement there. The slip going to point, or trading places with point fielder. Good stop. Once again, directed towards point. Suvir Gudipati at point, stopping a certain single. Good spell so far from the bowler Ajay Prithviraj. Good comeback after that first over where he gave 11 runs. This time, pitch shot and punished instantaneously for a boundary over cow corner. I would say not even cow corner. It's between deep mid wicket and cow corner by Ansh Boje. All the good work done in the previous few deliveries by taking those dart balls was undone by that one delivery which went for 4 runs. Still have one more delivery left in this over. Placing it finally between the fielder at point and covers. Managing a couple of runs in the process. Finishing up the over at 26 for no loss at the end of over number 4.
Four overs done, 26 without loss. Ansh Boje, 21 from 14 with a 4 and a 6. Sujit Nathaniel, 5 from 10. And of course, the big picture, as we said, the target is 168. So we're looking for another 142 runs in the next 96 balls. So this is getting more and more difficult. But again, with 10 wickets in hand and a team that essentially is playing a practice match, huge swipe and a miss there. I said effectively playing a practice match because I think I overheard the great Ramasubramanian say that they've already qualified for the final tomorrow. Is that right? So having qualified for the final, this can just be a match where you play with things. And speaking of playing with things, Sujit Nathaniel advancing down the track, trying to hit Aryan Tamala. That's not going to be easy to do. One of the better bowlers that you'll find anywhere at any level. And he fired it through more quickly, beaten in flight, and found himself short of the crease. And one of the best glove men in the entire country is captain of the TCC Kings, Arjun Mahesh, as quick as a flash off at the bails, and that is the first wicket to fall. So 1 wicket down, 25. Earlier I said 26, my apologies. No, the scoreboard does have it now, 26 for 1. The scoreboard is having trouble keeping up with us. But 26 for 1 after 6 point, make that 5.2. 4.2 it is. So you're saying after 3 comes 4. Is that the new math?
I guess that's what my math teacher told
Ah, all right, good.
I have to verify once again.
We may have to do exactly that.
At the turn of the century, anything can
Exactly. Maybe it's 5 identifying as 4. There's
quite
that.
likely.
So the new batter coming to the crease is going to be Shayan Chakraborty, right-handed batter. So you still have the left-hand, right-hand combination with the lefty Ansh Boje at the non-striker's end. Here's the first delivery to him. Chakraborty played into the offside, and they'll get a single. That is Rithvik Ramesh in the covers. Had to move over to his left to make that throw back to his right. So that always was going to buy time for the batting side to be able to come back around and get that. So now, still inside the power play, and Ange Boje, who is a really an attacking batter, he's on strike. So watch where the field is. Again, two sweepers, one on the leg side, one on the offside. So you're going to expect something here short of length, nothing too full. That's what you have here, and it's played into the offside. And it's a single. Split second, might have thought about a second, but that was never going to be. So Ange Boje just taking his time. Scored 71 runs this morning, if I remember correctly. Some number in that area. Anyway, he had a few runs, and he took 5 wickets from what. And I know all this because he told me. So he's very proud of his efforts this morning, and looking to keep things going here. Tossed up down the leg side though. It's going to be wide. First wide that we've seen in this innings, signaled there by umpire Sagar Bavsar. And again, umpire currently standing at square leg is Cameron Best, former Combined Islands Cricket Club captain. And you've probably heard me say this before, he was my captain when I played. That is an elegant looking shot through extra cover off the back foot, forcing it through between extra cover and mid-off. The ball races across the outfield for 4. Good looking shot here by Shayan Chakraborty. Now 5 from 2 deliveries faced for him. So striking it at a decent rate, 250. Obviously, that's just 2 scoring strokes. I don't know how sustainable that strike rate is. But Ange Boje, who's been there much longer, 15 balls faced and 22 runs scored. He's striking it at 147. So definitely being able to do the job from that standpoint. Oh, interesting leave. He is turning the ball into the right-hander. That leave, you would have to chalk it up to good eyesight or good luck, one of the two. That was as tight a leave as you would ever imagine to see from an off spinner. The ball is leaving you, that's one thing, but the ball is turning in. But he was confident enough that it wasn't going to trouble the stumps. I don't know if I've ever had that level of confidence. End of the over.
Maybe he had a weak stump drive.
End of the over at 33 for 1. 33 for 1 after 5. Your scoring rate is 6.6, but look at this. Your required rate is now up to 9. You need to score at 9 runs and over for the next 15 overs. That's not going to be easy. Another 135 needed in that time. 135 needed in the next 90 balls. Played off the back foot here. Ange Boje looking fluid. And again, given that they've already qualified for the final, you don't anticipate that they'll be panicking in any way. But you'd also want them to be treating it as a sort of practice where you can get a situation where you can get through a chase similar to a chase that potentially you could have in the finals. So they're going to want to be careful there. It's played into the outfield by Ange Boje, now moving up to 23 from 17 with a 4 and a 6. Now that brings Shayan Chakraborty on strike. 5 from 3 with a boundary. Well struck boundary that you had in the last over that he was batting. Last over of the power play. So you have another 4 balls remaining in this power play. Short, played off the back foot, well fielded. And that's not going to be, there's no run conceded there. So this is a good over underway by Srihanchala. Up to him now to be able to close this out in a fashion that would allow for there to be more pressure built. Slapped over the top of extra cover. That's going to run away for 4, I think, unless the sweeper can get to it. Diving, and did he do enough to pull it back? I think he may have done enough to pull it back. And in the meantime, they run 3. And by the way, that's a good effort by these batters to keep running, because in a situation like that, you could easily have thought it was going to go for 4. But they kept running and did enough to be able to pull things, or at least to maximize the scoring opportunities. 3 runs total from that delivery. Now 2 balls remaining here in the power play. Antiboje facing up to now 27, make that 23 from 17 with a 4 and a 6. Quicker delivery, slapped through the offside, sweeper coming off the rope. That is, I believe, Iron Tumala down there. Good long, strong throw to the keeper's end. So 1 ball now remaining here in over 6. At this stage in the first innings, the TCC Kings had 53 runs. So something to keep in mind. You're behind the pace if you are the Texas Skywalkers, definitely. Tossed up a little bit of turn. That kisses the outside edge. He'll get 4, but that is a moral victory. That ball turned a lot. Looking to play this through the offside, and it ended up going through the offside, but certainly much finer than he was planning for it to. That is the end of the over. 4 runs coming from that delivery and 9 total coming from the over. 40 from the last 5. At the end of 6, it's 42 for 1. So that's the end of the power play. 42 for 1 is the score. New bowler now coming from the Forest end. It will be Subir Gudipati. Right arm seam bowler. He'll be bowling to the lefty Anch Boje. Bowling over the wicket as a right-hander, looking to slant this ball across the lefty. And so from that angle, you're expecting to see fielders in the offside come into play. There's a long off, there's a cover, there's a point, there's a short third, and there's a sweeper on the offside. Those 5, I would imagine, would be very key to understanding where this ball is going. On the leg side, you have a square leg, you have a deep mid-wicket on the boundary, and the long on. And so here's the first delivery. Bad line. That line will never work to a left-hander. And once it goes in that direction where he can easily pivot and help it behind the square, that's going to be something that Subir Gudipati, who is a good bowler, but he will know that that line needs to be more outside off. If it's on the stumps from over the wicket, essentially it's a delivery that cannot do any harm. If you hit the batter on the pad, then it's not out LBW because it would have been pitching outside leg. So you're going to have to get that ball on the off stumper outside off. That's a much better line. It's played down the ground for a single, but you need much more of that because that's exactly where you need to bowl to be able to build pressure. And again, you're looking for a way to protect your team from conceding 9 runs and over. So the best way of doing that is to bowl deliveries where you cannot sort of get away. In other words, make them hit your good deliveries. This is going to be now with the left-hand, right-hand combination. This is again Cheyenne Chakraborty back on strike, 12 from 6. Oh, tentative poke there. Ball missing the bat by some distance, but I don't know that that's the shot that you'd want to play. And in fact, I think I see what he was trying because there's a big gap. Short third is very, very wide, and then there's no one in the deep behind that fielder. So if you get a thin edge, it goes in that direction for 4. But if you get too thin an edge, you have one of the best keepers in the country who can take that. That is helped over the top of fine leg for 4 more. So just having a little bit of trouble finding the right line here. That's Suvir Gudipati. And he's too straight to both batters. Too straight to the lefty, got put away for 4 over fine leg. Too straight to the righty, exact same result. So he's going to have to find that off-stump line. And that makes it difficult when you're bowling to a left-hander and a right-hander because you're constantly having to shift the line that you bowl when you're bowling to a lefty and a righty. But it is a part of being able to be an effective bowler. Here's the next delivery. Played into the offside. Maybe just a touch too wide, but being too wide outside off is better than being too straight down the leg side. Played into the offside for a single. Sweeper who is out there, that's I believe Aryan Tamala. And then last ball coming up here in over number 7. I bowled an extended spell just now, 3 whole overs. I didn't even like bowling 3 overs when I was playing. I appreciate the opportunity to give the ball back to the captain after this ball. 10 from the over already, good ball. That is the line that he needs to bowl. If he does that the rest of the day, his captain will be happy. Single down the ground, 11 runs coming from the over. At the end of it, the score is 53 for 1.
A good comeback from Suvir there after those couple of hits to the boundary to make up for the runs given. End of over number 7. Cheyenne Chakraborty and Ansh in the middle. Ansh at 30 from 21 deliveries. Cheyenne has also done some powerlifting here. 17 of 9 deliveries with 3 hits to the fence, striking at the rate of 188.89. Knowing very well that his partner Ansh Boje, the senior of the two, is capable of holding one end or accelerating at will based on the needs of the situation. Cheyenne probably has been given the license to go after the bowler. When he sees a bad ball, go dispatch it. I'd probably say Cheyenne is playing the role of a USPS driver here, who's trying to finish his shift and get back home.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
I've seen USPS cars run really fast, sprint past the roads these days, especially when it's the end of their shift. A ball's been handed over to Ritwik Ramesh, I believe. Yes, it is. It's a change of bowling from Sri Hanchala to Ritwik Ramesh. Now just a nudge towards sweeper cover for quick 2 runs. Keeper not really happy with the fielder at sweeper cover because that would have been definitely only 1 run in his opinion. Ritwik bowling with a big heart there from the highway end to Ansh Boje. Pitching it short this time, but not much elevation for the batter to go get under the ball. Tap towards point. No runs taken from that delivery. Smart bowling there by Ritwik, not to give any sort of bounce on the ball, because he is dead sure that any bounce will be to his disadvantage and to Ansh's advantage. This one hit firmly towards sweeper cover again for a single. Three runs of the first three deliveries bowled so far. Very tidy over at this point. Again, keeper Arjun Mahesh making some field adjustments for the right-hander. Outside off line. Again, hit directly to point. No runs taken of this delivery. This is a perfect example of do not underestimate a bowler based on the height. He's been very smart in bowling in the right areas. Again, 5 deliveries, no boundaries in sight. Just the singles and doubles coming Texas Skywalkers' way. One delivery to close the over. Ansh Boje facing the last delivery of this over from Ritwik Ramesh. Again, no room to go over the top. Ball going directly in the hands of the sweeper cover. Just a single to end the over. Very, very, very productive over for TCC Kings. Just 5 runs coming off that over. Total is up to 58 for the loss of 1 wicket at the end of 8 overs. Its current run rate at 7.25, and the asking is a little over 9 runs. It's absolutely necessary for Skywalkers to rethink their strategy for the next 5 overs on how they want to go after the bowlers. It's be interesting to see who's going to come in for the next over. But yeah, the bowling team has taken a strategic timeout at this point. Let's quickly jump into what's happening in the other ground between Texas Legends and KT Raiders. A very interesting game happening there. Texas scorecard has been really slow with the internet today. It was KT Raiders that batted first and put on a huge total of 215 runs for the loss of 5 wickets. There were 3 contributors from KT Raiders. Arya Kanata for a very valuable 60 of 24 deliveries, just 24 deliveries, 7 huge sixers. Sohan Matham 68 from 44 deliveries, and then they had their pace battery KT Express, RN Nadkarni 47 from 26 with 4 big hits and 3 to the boundary. 215 for 5, and in response to that, Texas Legends are 69 for a loss of 2 wickets. They have lost both their openers, Rishi Ramesh and Priyadarshan, both victim of RN Nadkarni's pace. RN excellent spell, 3 overs, 12 runs, 2 wickets. In the middle are Pranay Balaji and Rinyesh Jayachandran. Scoring, they have been scoring at a rate of close to about 8 runs and over, but their required rate is well over 13 runs. So it's a tall order for Texas Legends to catch up with the asking rate. However, they definitely have the batting depth in their unit to be able to get that kind of a total. End of strategic timeout, and the fielders are getting back into the field. It's been an unusual weather here in Houston today. All of us were predicting, looking at the numbers in the forecast of 70 plus. So the one would expect that it will be nice, warm, and sunny. However, it turned out to be cloudy, breezy, and cold, especially with the temperatures hovering around the 70s, which is an interesting combination of cold and 70s. Still, the players are really enjoying what they're doing. They have been playing great cricket since morning. Some really good innings from the bat, some really good spells from the bowlers. Interesting field change now. They have brought in Chinmay Arif-Selvan as the bowler from the commentary box booth. And good change that has been brought in now. They have 110 that needs to be made in the remaining 12 overs for Texas Skywalkers to win this game. Pick of the bowler so far is Ritvik Ramesh for TCC Kings. He bowled at 1 over and just gave away 5 runs. Aryan Tumala has bowled 3 overs already. He just has 1 over left for his quota. It took a one wicket of Sujit Nathaniel. Chinmay coming to bowl from the commentary booth end to Ansh Boje. Ball going down the leg. That's an appeal by both the bowler and the keeper for a leg before, or probably caught behind. But apparently the umpire was clear in his decision. It was just scraping his pads before going into the gloves of the wicketkeeper. Effectively avoided an extra, avoided a run, but no wicket there. This time again drifting down the leg at Ansh Boje, making no mistake, tapping it towards deep square leg for a single, bringing Cheyenne on strike. Some quick field placements being changed by the keeper, especially with the right and left combination. Chinmay coming from over the wicket now to Cheyenne. Ball up in the air. It was an easy ball, easy one. Played away from the batter, and good catch taken at covers by Suvir Gudipati. A very tricky ball there from Chinmay. Sees the back of Shayan Chakraborty.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, If you've ever turned the lights on in your kitchen and as soon as you turn the lights on, the roaches go scurrying away, you're seeing exactly that happen here because the batter who is coming to the crease is, is Pranav Ramji. And so Ramji Ramasubramanian just took off because he cannot commentate when his son is playing. So he's now taking strike. It's going to be Pranav Ramji joining Ansh Boje. Ansh Boje 35 from 27, 2 fours and a 6. The wind is picking up just a little bit, coming from the south. So if it is hit in this direction, in other words, if Pranav Ramji hits it in the air straight, it will be helped by the wind. I don't know that he'd be coming in immediately to hit big, but if he chose to elevate the ball in the air, especially with mid-on and mid-off inside the circle, then he could potentially get runs down the ground. Let's see how he approaches it. Chinmahi again. Looking for the big swipe. Oh, looking to see whether or not he left his crease. Again, Captain Arjun Mahesh has one of the best pair of gloves anywhere that you'll see anywhere. And he was very quick, whipped the glove or whipped the bails off. Thought that he might have had the new batter sort of short of his ground, but umpire Cameron Best deciding that his back foot never left the crease. Here's Chinmahi again. Oh, looking for the big swipe, gets a thick outside edge. It will race away down the hill and get close to the boundary. Pulled back now, and they get 2 runs. So he gets off the mark with a double. He'll definitely take those, as will his father, by the way, because he was about the most nervous person that you could expect. But he can breathe easy now. A sigh of relief as Pranav Ramji is off the mark. 2 from 2 balls faced. Chinmahi Rubiselvan again. Here she is. Tried again for the big hit through the offside. Misses out. That is the end of a successful over by Chinmahi. It is 1 over bowled, 1 for 3 for her at the end of 9. Slipping into a little bit of trouble now here, the Skywalkers. They need another 107 in the next 66 balls. Is 61 for 2 is the score after 9. And this is going to be Ritvik Ramesh continuing bowling from the highway end. Bowling to Ansh Boje. He goes big. There's a man out there, but he's not anywhere near tall enough. Goes all the way for 6 over mid-wicket. So Ansh Boje may have gotten the memo. It's time to start making a serious charge toward that total. Need now 101 in the next 65 balls, so needing to score at the rate of 9.32 and over. They're currently scoring at the rate of 7.31 and over. And so there's a lot of work to do. Ansh Boje is more than capable of spearheading that charge. But if he's going to do that, it needs to be now. And is looking to cash in on the bowling of Ritvik Ramesh. Bowling around the wicket to the left-hander. Goes back. This is a better ball. And does enough to keep it out of the hitting zone of Ange, because Ange, very powerful player, has shots all around the ground, a very stylish player too. So you're going to have to make sure that you sort of keep it out of where he likes it. And what that really means is don't be too straight. Anything too straight and he'll target that area over mid-wicket again. Off the back foot, that's perfectly fine. Not picked up cleanly though, and the throw coming in can't prevent a single. So halfway through the 10th over, another 63 deliveries left. At this stage in their innings, the TCC Kings had 85 runs on the board. Currently, Texas Skywalkers with 68, so they are some 17 runs behind the pace as far as that's concerned. What you're going to want to do is keep building pressure. What I mean by that, the TCC Kings need to keep having them work to get these runs. This is driven down the ground. Should just be one. Yep, they settled for one. And to the extent that you can keep doing that, then you have the required rate continue to climb. Right now it's at 9.58. With 9.58, essentially you're needing a run a ball for 5 balls and then a boundary. Somewhere in that mix is what you need to start thinking. So you're not quite at the point where you mandatorily have to have a boundary every over, but at this stage it's looking like you're getting closer to that point. Played off the back foot again in that direction. Oh, this is sloppy. This is an overthrow. No real need to shy at the stumps there. It was a dot ball. It would have been a dot ball. Nobody would have been able to run for that, but you concede an extra run. That would be very irritating to the captain. So let's see exactly how or whether it can be capitalized on. Hrithik Ramesh, one more ball remaining here in over number 10. 7.12 and over is their scoring rate. Oh, look at this. What happens here? Looking for the stumping, but not given by umpire Sagar Bavsar. That is the end of 10. 9 coming from the over. Any over where you keep your opposition to less than the required rate is a good thing. So 9.8 is the required rate. Right now you need to score exactly at the rate of 10, make that 7, and my apologies. Let's score exactly at the rate of 9.8 and over. You're scoring at exactly 7, so you have some work to do. 10 up, 70 for 2. Last 10 overs underway where the wind is picking up. I'll tell you, it is not that cold. The temperature, according to my thermometer here, is 68, but it feels much colder than that. In the air, cutaway for 4, is it? Chinmahia Ruby Sullivan after it. Ooh, she does well to pull it back, so they'll get a couple, Ange. But as I was saying, the temperature, according to my thermometer, is 68. It feels colder than that. It's absolutely overcast. The wind is now picking up, coming from the south, so blowing directly at us. And very honestly, I don't care who wins this game, just as soon as it's over with in the next 6 or 7 overs, I'd be the happiest person alive. So, by the way, join us for cricket tomorrow, because tomorrow is the final day of the 2024 Houston Youth Premier League. I'm not educated enough as to the standings to let you know who is going to be playing where and when, but I do know that this team, the one that is batting right now, the Texas Skywalkers, have already qualified for the finals. And so this is a bit of a practice match for them. But the games get more serious tomorrow, including when the final is played, and the Skywalkers team will be one of the teams in the finals. Who is going to be the other player in the final or the other team in the finals? We'll see here. Okay, now I think there's some dispute as to whether or not that last delivery was a no ball. Did they not have enough fielders inside the circle? I think that's what the conversation is about. But I think umpire Sagar Babsa is just eager to get the game going, and I think that's what we're about to do now. So here's Suvir Gudipati again. Good line. Oh my goodness, that is a perfect line to the left-hander. He found the edge. You could easily sort of try to recreate history and say, you know what, I really should have had a slip fielder in position there. Had there been a slip fielder there, it would have gone to him at chest height. But without a slip fielder, it races away for 4. So that's a boundary. The deficit now is only 92, so it's heading in the right direction if you are the Skywalkers. But you do have work to do because still required rate at 9.52, not easy. You do have a set batter. Ansh Boja now up to 49. 49 from 33, 3 4s and 2 6s. Off the back foot, there's his 50. That is well played, and it's going to be racing away for 4. I'll tell you what, that was a beautifully timed shot. He got his 50 plus 3. That was an excellent looking shot. Consecutive 50s on the day for Ansh Boja. Had some 71 runs or so this morning and is now at 53 not out. And you suspect that if the Skywalkers are going to win this game, that Ansh Boja will have had something to do with it. Score now up to 80, looking for 88 more runs in the next 57 balls. And now Suvir Gudipati is trying to take away that shot from through the offside by going around the wicket, angling the ball into him. Not able to prevent it from going in the offside though. This is played away to Ritvik Ramesh at mid-off. They run through for a single, so the last 2 balls coming up now in over number 11. 11 runs already from the over. And we'll see exactly how well he's able to close this over out. Been expensive. A couple of boundaries and then a double and a single. So 11 runs is probably 4 or 5 more than he's comfortable with having given up. Let's see if he can close strongly here with this last ball to Pranav Ramji, who is on 3 from 5. Full. Finds the outside edge again, racing away down the hill. Probably at least a couple more. And they jog back for the second. That's a good piece of running by the fielder, running back from a short third. At this stage, the TCC Kings had 93 runs. So you've made up the deficit a lot in the last couple of overs because at 83, you're only 10 behind the pace. And remember, TCC slowed down a lot in the back end of their innings. It's a good ball, beats the outside edge. That is a dot to end things in over number 11. 13 coming from the over, 83 for 5. 83 for 2. Over number 12. Oh, what did I miss? Did he bowl him? Oh my goodness, I may have missed that. So Ange Boje went back and playing off the back foot. Did he clip the stumps? I think he may have clipped. The off bail is on the ground. I think that's what has happened. Did he get bowled? I want to get verification on that. Oh, he was bowled. So from our angle, we're a little bit shielded. Keeper, I think, was just in the way where we did not get a chance to see exactly what happened. But apparently, Ange Boje going back to play that delivery from Subir Gudipati, in fact, by Rithvik Ramesh. And he ends up losing his off bail. So that's a good piece of bowling. I believe by Rithvik. No, in fact, it's Ansh Bakhta who's the bowler. Ansh Bakhta is the bowler. The first ball of his spell takes the wicket of the leading destroyer for the Texas Skywalkers, Ansh Boje. Bowled for 54 from 36, 4 fours and 2 sixes. And it is now going to be Aryan Satish, the captain all-rounder. Didn't bowl today, wanted to give chances to everyone else. And now he comes to the wicket, playing a little bit tentatively on the back foot that time. The ball trickling in front of him for no run. So a bit of a comeback. 13 runs came from the previous over, but all of a sudden, the very first delivery of this over number 12, sees the back of Ansh Boje. Ansh Bakhta has done well so far to pull things back. 3 dot balls on the trot now, including the first ball that took a wicket. So we'll see exactly how well they do here, because at this time, as this is clipped around the corner, should get 2 here. Long run for the keeper, captain himself. Not able to prevent 2 runs there, Arjun Mahesh. So he's able to get, for the most part, what he needed to have done. That's a pretty long sprint. That's about a 40-yard sprint. And in the meantime, his opposite number, Aryan Satish, gets a couple of runs to open his account. Tossed up again, played off the back foot. Oh, tumbles all over it, fielder at backward point. And they'll get 1 run. So the last 2 balls coming up in over number 12. And that required rate is now up to 9.84. So things are definitely getting more and more difficult here. When it gets to around 10, it may be to the point where you start looking to definitely have a boundary and over. It's a dot ball. And with that dot ball, the required rate is now above 10. It's 10.04. So needing to score 10.4 or 10.04 runs every over makes it extremely difficult. And in fact, that is the end of the over. So the required rate officially is 10.25. At the end of 12, the score is 86 for 3. Ajay Prithviraj taking the ball to start his second over. Make that his first. Has he bowled? No, I think it's his second. We'll confirm that shortly, but either his first or second over. And he'll be bowling to the captain, Aryan Satish. Aryan Satish, 3 from 4. Pranav Ramji, 5 from 8. Here's the first delivery. Flighted, a lot of turn Aaron Satish winding up, looking to play that through the offside, and it turned back into him. It's a good-looking delivery to start here over number 13 by Ajay Prithviraj. Next delivery, flatter and shorter, and it gets the treatment, goes all the way for 6. That is a great shot by Aaron Satish, just going back onto his back foot, lofting that one over the top. So he got good production with that flighted delivery. Got some turn, got some bounce, but chose to go short and flat on that second ball, and it got hit out of the stadium. So 92 is the score now. 92 for 3, need another 76. 76 needed in the next 46 balls, so it's not going to be easy. 9.91 is your required rate. Psychologically, it's a benefit that it's back under 10, but you still have a long way to go. Fly it again. I think this is a better plan of attack for him. Toss it up above his eye line, make him have to make a decision as to whether to come forward or go back. But pushing it through flat and short, I don't think is the way to go. Let's see how he goes from here. Flies it again, goes for the big swing, inside edge, takes it past the keeper. Arjun Mahesh has a long run. They come back for 2, they could come back for 3. No, that's good work by Arjun Mahesh, a really long run. And that is 2 runs. I think I just saw umpire Sagar Bafsa signal to umpire Cameron Best that 2 balls are remaining. My count says 3, but let's just assume that they are more accurate, and in fact I believe that is right. So here now is the next delivery. Goes big again, goes for 6 again. So every time he has pushed it through at pace, he has been punished. He's gotten much more success in tossing the ball up. This time he chose once again to push it through quick and flat. And when that happens, Captain Aryan Satish is only too happy to go back onto the back foot and elevate it over the leg side. 14 from over, by the way, that stroke brought up the 100. The score is now 100 for 3, another 68 needed in 43 balls. And the game essentially is to the point where it's getting a little tight. Tossed up again, and that is such a better ball for him. This is played into the offside for a single, so 15 runs coming from the over. There may be a lesson there for Ajay Prithviraj. And by the way, that was his 3rd over. Got punished in this over. 15 runs coming from it. At the end of 14, it is 101 for 3. Number 14 about to start. So officially with that dot ball, 41 balls remaining, 61 runs left to get for the Texas Skywalkers. Captain Aryan Satish is hitting out. As it's skied in the air, it may land safely or not. It has taken a well-judged catch running back from mid-wicket, and that is the end of Pranav Ramji. He skied it. He wanted to look big to go over mid-wicket, but ended up sweeping the top edge, going up into the air, and the fielder running back from short mid-wicket was able to pouch it. Just for a second, I thought that it might be over his head, but he did well enough, Ansh Bakhtar, or the fielder, to give Ansh Bakhtar a wicket, courtesy of a well-judged catch over his shoulder. So that is a good piece of bowling, and the wicket falls at the same time. That is the end of Pranav Ramji. Had a good day with the ball. Got a start with the bat but couldn't carry on. He ends up scoring 5 from 9. And at the end of his stay at the crease, the score is 102 for 4. Another 66 needed in the next 39 balls. So the new batter is Tarandeep Paul. Tarandeep Paul facing up to Ansh Bhakta. Ansh Bhakta's 2 deliveries in this over, but he's already taken 2 wickets. Tossed up, driven to mid-off, no run. At this similar stage, the TCC Kings were at 126. So they've opened up again another big gap between the 2 teams in terms of where they were. Going down the leg side, politely asking the question without really appealing. 1 run from the over so far. This is really well bowled. And looking to make sure that they keep this trend going. Here's the next delivery. Tossed up, goes big. How high does he go? How far does he go? Goes all the way for 6. So mid-on is inside the circle, so there is little risk in hitting down the ground, even hitting into the wind. Tarandeep Paul is a strong enough man that it goes all the way for 6. So 7 from the over so far with 1 ball remaining. And to the extent that you have to score heavily if you're needing to score 10 runs and over, which is where you are now. 7 from the over already, and you're already still behind the target rate. Let's see exactly what happens from here. Next delivery. Played into the offside. A single. That is Chinmahi Selvan, who does the cleanup work. End of over 14. Last 6 coming up. Score is 109 for 4, which means in the next 36 balls, the Texas Skywalkers need to score 59 runs. We'll be right back. to 4 from 36 with 4 fours and 2 sixes. Shan Chakraborty 18 from 12. Pranav Ramji 5 from 9. And then Aryan Satish and Taron Paul with a good partnership. 45 from 25 for Aryan Satish, unbeaten. Taron Paul caught 16 of 13. Akhilesh Balan scored 3. But Akhilesh Nanda Sudhakar coming in at the end to close things out with a display of firepower. I thought the best bowler was Aaron Tamala, 4 overs, 2 for 19. Ajay Prithviraj, 4 overs, cost him 51 runs, so he'll want to improve on that. Srihan Chala, 2 overs, 1 for 21. Suvir Gudipati, 2 overs, none for 24. Ritvik Ramesh, 2.2 overs, none for 19. Chinmahi Yorubiselvan, 1 for 3 from her, 1 over. And Ansh Bhakta, 3 overs, 2 for 19. And Irvin Chigurala 1 over for 12. That concludes the coverage for the day from the Prairie View Cricket Complex. Tomorrow is the final day of the HYPL 2024. Please join us at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, where we'll have yet another exciting match for you. We'll go through those particulars. Probably that will be